That was like my Marie Antoinette-esque shoot. A lot of people asked me if I was assigned to, because it was very editorial looking. And it actually, I saved up a bunch of money and I set up 2 models, a makeup artist. I was actually able to shoot at the Willard Street Inn in one of their rooms. The owners were nice enough to let me use a room for a couple of hours. And I did. I just saved up for the dresses, the wigs, the shoes, and everything, and we just photographed for 4 hours.
Now, having to go through a production myself, which this is going to appear out of sequence, I think, but it's December 6th is another show that I'm doing, but for this, I think this could be airing after that, but so it's out of context. But having to go through that, I know that it's quite costly to try to do a live show plus get it taped and whatnot, because you have to buy the tapes, that whole thing. Can you ballpark a figure as to what that might have?
Oh, that whole thing?
Yeah. Because I can't imagine the wigs were cheap.
Oh my God. Well, actually, they weren't that bad. I got them for like $40 off of Amazon.com.
$40?
Yeah, I was.
That must have been right after the movie came out, huh?
Yeah, well, no, this was actually, the movie was out for a little bit, for a couple years, and then I saw.
So this must have been fairly recent.
Yeah, it was very recent. And my mom, she actually helped me pay for a couple of the things. Like, I think she bought a pair of shoes and a dress, and I bought a pair of shoes and a dress, and then she would buy like the little, like the fans and the stockings and stuff. So I have a lot to thank my mom for helping me.
Well, would you like to go into the camera and say thank you? Or?
Thanks, Mom. Yeah.
And we'll make sure that your mom sees that.
Okay.
Somehow, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we will make it happen.
Yeah, we'll figure out a way. If we don't, we'll think of something else.
Yeah. But, yeah, it actually, it was maybe in the total $200-ish, a little bit more, a little bit more. I can't really remember. And that's really not all that much.
We're going to go back to the pictures in just a minute, but I have one quick question for you as to your other wigs. You said that you, while we were looking at those, you said that you used black wigs for some of your self-portraits, which we see sprinkled in there. So if they're looking very carefully, they can see them. Okay, so that was, did you enjoy doing that, or not really? Or?
Which one? The self-portraits or
the self-portraits?
Oh, the self-portraits. Oh, they're fun. I mean.
To an extent.
Pardon?
To an extent.
Yeah, to an extent. It's just, like I was saying before when we were looking at them, like the self-portraits are a pain to do. Like, you've got to set your camera up on a tripod, and then you have to make sure that, like, the camera is actually focusing on you, because you're using an automatic focus, obviously. Well, at least I do. I'm sure there's other ways to do it. And I don't have a cable release, so I have to get behind the camera, estimate where I'm going to be, focus, and then just, it's kind of it's like trial and error. And I'm sure there's easier ways to do it. I just don't know those ways yet. Yeah.
We'll take a look at your other photos. So you enjoy photography, clearly, and by the sound of it, it's almost like a release for you in a way. Is that?
It is, and it isn't. Like sometimes, sadly, it's kind of an obsession, or like it's like one of those weird, like the
Can't
artist.
be any worse than going to bed with Sinatra song stuck in your head.
Yeah, but that's what it's like sometimes. Like I won't be able to. It's like the cliche, like the artist gets obsessed with their work and they suffer for it, or that.
Suffering for art. So
Yeah, yeah, and it's just. I mean, I'm not really suffering, but sometimes I think a little too much about things that I could do and stuff that I want to do, and like. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to sleep at night because I'll come up with an idea and I'll just keep thinking of it and thinking of a way I can make it happen and think of a way to like make the money to make it happen. And
do you ever have like a little thing by your bed where you just jot down any ideas?
No, because I usually I'll either remember them or like a lot of my shoots, other than like the Willard Street Inn one with the big wigs and everything, that was obviously like very planned out. Like most of the time, I just will have a vague concept of what I want, but then some of the ideas just get thrown out the door because what I have in front of me I feel is a better idea.
And somehow you come up with...
Yeah, like everything is very sort of on the fly. Like there's some pictures that were in the slideshow of the girls with the yellow shirts, and I had originally had the idea of them to stand underneath this huge sunflower that I saw in somebody's yard, and it was leaning down, so it would be right above their heads, and I was going to have them wear the yellow to match with the sunflower. And I did that, but they didn't come out as great. And then...
Oh, that would give their skin a yellow tint, wouldn't it?
Pardon?
That would give their skin a yellow tint, wouldn't it?
Oh, not necessarily, if you know how to, like, color correct. I mean, it wasn't like the color of the flower was, like, reflecting in their face. It was, like, kind of behind their head, like right here.
Kind of like a halo-esque.
Yeah, and